Hey guys, RCT3 Imagineer here with something a little bit new besides roller coasters today. While I was browsing the internet today casually, I discovered that 3 days ago a really great demo for this game called Prehistoric Kingdom has come out, and I highly recommend you give this a check out. It's a game I personally have been waiting for years, and I was super excited to be able to find out that I was able to try the pre-alpha demo today. This is an independent game developed by what is now called Shadow Raven Studios, and I have to say, this is a really well done project, and I am super excited to see where this heads. The first thing I want to point out about this application is how quickly it loaded when I started the game. It was an almost instantaneous thing, and I was very happy to see how smoothly it was working on my computer, which signals some really great things for the finished product of this game. And a bonus point is the theme music is actually pretty good. Alright, so let's get into actually exploring the demo of Prehistoric Kingdom. Once you select New Game, you're given this kind of island selection mode. It seems like in the future you're going to have a lot more options. And already this game feels a lot like Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, which I am a huge fan of that game. So to me, this already feels like a spiritual successor, and I'm super excited to get started with this. And as you can see, we have the view of the islands. And disclaimer, I have not played this game before, so this is me trying to figure out all the controls, how this works, and how I'm actually going to build in this. But so far, it's working pretty well, and as you can see, when you scroll down to the textures at the bottom, it looks beautiful. So right now I'm just going through the graphics to see if I'm on high quality, and just to kind of tweak things for my best usage of this game. And yes, I do like a lot of mouse sensitivity. It's unfortunate, I'm very impatient, so I want to be able to get things moving quicker. But yeah, the graphics look great for a demo. The textures are very realistic, and the camera functions are very smooth, as are the user controls. So far I have a very great impression of this game, and as you can see now I'm going through the various aspects of building. It looks like we have fences, some animal care, construction. These two are middled out. I'm assuming that's dining and that's attractions. And we have paths and decorations. So let's just kind of give it a look and see what we're allowed to use in this demo so far. For paths, we've got dirt, stone, wood, and natural and asphalt, I believe, are coming later. And we have some nice helper hints on the top left side, which is really awesome. Just gonna read those through so that this is less frustrating for you guys and for me trying to figure out how these controls work. Okay. Let's click on fences and see what we have. Alright, got some wood, some stone, and some metal, glass, and miscellaneous. Glass, I'm not sure what would be, but miscellaneous I have a feeling is for maybe some of the underwater creatures that will be featured later. Okay, let's click on this part.
I'm your new employer, Alexander Winstone. Delighted to make your acquaintance. Now, I expect this park to be operational very soon, and I'm giving you all the funding you need to achieve this. As this will be a trial run for you, no one outside of the company shall ever step foot on this island. So, no need to build an abundance of attractions. Focus solely on the future stars of our shows, the dinosaurs. Welcome to Prehistoric Kingdom. Ha ha!
Okay, so this is basically Jurassic Park Operation Genesis in the way that it should have been made. I am very excited about the direction this is heading so far, so let's get to work and see what we can do. So this looks like the animal habitation, feeding, and shelters. Let's click on the animal nursery and get some things started here. Okay, so rotating, moving, single instance. So now we're going to work on rotating this to get it the right way. I'm basically experimenting with keys and reading these hints to get an idea of what's due. Oh, it's right at the bottom. Just got to press comma. I did not do well in reading comprehension at school. It's going to become very clear in this video. But hopefully I won't frustrate you all too much. Good, so we're scrolling down the grass again. And as you can see, they actually showed the buildings. There's the nursery menu. But before we can do that, there's this little utility function going above the building. So we're going to just take care of that now. And add in some... Wow, that's a big windmill. Let's find a place that's really far off from everything else. There's a nice little bay there. Let's put it there. All right, add a couple of those in. Not transportation. Let's add the water pump too, just so we can get that out of the way. Cool. All right. Those are probably a little bit too close together because it looks like the fans will hit each other, but that's okay. Now let's go back to the nursery and start breeding some animals. Or dinosaurs, I should say. Okay, so we have the main classes, it looks like. And this is the scientific names for the subclasses. Looks like we have the Gallimimus family and the Triceratops family. I used to be really good at knowing the specific species, family names, and genuses, but that is something that has gone out of my memory. It looks like you have age selection here, which is awesome for breeding. Scaly option looks like it's going to be later, so we're getting the more realistic feathered version. And we have male and female breeding options. And it looks like we have skin options, which is really awesome. Wow, I really love that. That is not something I would have thought of for a zoo building game, to have different skin options. So let's do a couple breeding. And it goes fairly quickly. I think this is because the growth speed up is selected, but perhaps in maybe a challenge mode, this may take a little bit longer. So we've bred a couple males, and now we're breeding a couple females. I decided to go with the silver Spalding skin, just because it looked the most attractive to me. But maybe when you guys experiment around with this, you'll find something else that you like better. So this is me just basically trying to figure out how to click out of the nursery, and when you're in the game, you just have to actually click outside of the building you've selected. So now we're going to add some paths in. We're going to go with a nice stone path. There we go. And this is a nice drag and drop feature, very smooth. It looks like we don't have curved functions available in the demo, which is fine, but you can see that there will definitely be some way to build a curved paths in the future, which is great. And it looks like you cannot place paths under the buildings, which is fine. Hopefully in the finished game, there will be possibly some pavement under buildings so they don't look randomly placed on grass, which is okay if that's the aesthetic. Okay, have some rocks we can add in for exhibits later. Some park scenery, cool. Let's go back to paths and create the exhibit area. So I think for this one, we're going to go for a nice wood path. There's only one option right now, so let's go ahead and put that in. And it's not exactly even with both sides, so I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple more paths to make sure that it's symmetrical, or as symmetrical as it can be, just eyeballing it. Let's see if we can do a Gallimimus exhibit. Let's go with the wooden fences. And for the viewing area, I think I'm either going to go with the glass or the small, sturdy wooden frame. Let's go with the small, sturdy frame so that guests can see over. And then I think for the rest of it, we'll use a higher fence. Okay, let's finish up the other side and then finish the exhibit. Okay, so the exhibit is finished and it doesn't seem to be automatically putting in a gate. I theorize that's because this is the demo and there's no staff that need to get into the exhibit. Alright, see what else you want to add in. So, no decorations, rocks, maybe later. Alright, let's zoom in and see how it looks. Very nice. This is going to be such a great game when it's finished. I'm very glad this team took the time that they did to make sure everything was done right, because for a demo, things are running very smoothly. Okay, now let's figure out how to place everything. Oh wait, no, we want that selected. Single instance would be good. I'm not sure what that means. So let's read some more on how to place things. Okay, that shows us we have a 4-count dinosaur. Let's deselect that. Huh. Oh, place selected. Well, right in plain sight. It's not so easy when you're trying to play things for the first time, but you guys will know. So now we've placed our 4 Gallimimus. So let's see how the animations look. That's awesome. Oh wow. Very well done animations, and the skins are fantastic, and we have some wonderful particle effects with the sunlight. It looks like it's sunset. This is very well done. I am so excited to see everything else. So let's just click on these and see what's up. That looks like the cell option, and I think that's great. I have to say, this is exactly like if Zoo Tycoon 2 and JPOG, which is Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, had a love child. This is exactly what it would look like. It's great. Now, I'm going to try to fast forward it. There we go, just get a little bit faster. Okay, so you actually have to click on each individual arrow to get things to go either faster or slower. Just an FYI. When I was doing this, I could not figure it out. Well, since it's nighttime, let's try not to do any terrain editing, because I really want you guys to be able to see how that works. So let's finish up some exhibit things. We don't need to add any more fences. I think we're fine on Okay, so now we're looking at habitation and feeding and shelters, which are all animal care aspects of this game. And right now I'm just going through to check out each of these and see which would be best to put in. I think we're going to go with the first one. I think that's a good feeder for these animals. Let's get that placed off to the side where they'll be comfortable and away from visitors, but still close enough so people can see. As if there are no visitors in the demo. I don't know why I said that. But I think we do need to add a shelter in. And so far they have a large stone shelter and a large stable in this nice little tree trunk. Let's go with that one. Okay, that is way too small for them. The stable it is. So let's add an addition to the exhibit because I feel like this is going to take up a lot of space. So let's just rotate this around and place. As you can see, the nice little construction going up. That's a cool feature. I wonder if that's going to take longer in a not demo or sandbox mode. That'll be something I'm curious to see. But at the moment, let's work on... well, first we need to click out of this. And this was a big struggle. I was trying to figure out how to get out of building mode so I could delete that section. Ultimately, I just had to right-click out of it. And now I'm looking for the demolish button, which is near the bottom left side of the screen. And here I am still trying to figure out how to demolish it, and all I'm doing is actually just building more fences. This took a little bit of time for me to figure out, but eventually you'll see in the video I figure out how to demolish. So in the meantime, just enjoy the background music. And there we go, the demolish button. Congrats me, finally figured it out. Alright, now that we're done with the exhibit, let's give another look-see and figure out what to do next. Oh. Okay, now we're going to experiment with the terrain editing tools. See what we can do with the actual terrain. So it looks like we have raised, lower, level, and smooth. And that was a bit higher of a mound than I wanted to build. So let's reduce the intensity and size and try again. Okay, let's smooth all this out. Give it another go. So let's add a small mound there. reduce the size. Some small ones there. See what the level button does. Okay, that just makes a plateau. That's cool. Smoothing, I think, will give us nice rounder edges for some hills, which is what we want. Cool. Okay, water features at the moment are not possible, nor are biomes. So let's try and place some trees. Now you're going to see me struggle around with the tree selection for a bit. It was a bit finicky and a lot less straightforward than I thought it was going to be. Here you can see you select the trees and then their random size value. But every time I would try and place something, I was unsuccessful in adding any plants. Now, ultimately what I figured out was that you had to increase the size of your terraforming tools, or the big circle right there, in order to actually be able to place plants. And that this circle you're seeing right now is actually too small. So rotation was not selectable. Eventually I had to go up to size, and once I figured that out, then I was able to add in some plants to the exhibit that we had just made. See, I was able to delete vegetation at that small circle, but I was not able to add it. And I think this is when I figured out that if I increase the size, maybe it'll work. We'll see this bright aha moment in a few moments. Bear with me. And big O. Instant trees. Sorry that took so long, but that was a very confusing feature to me, and as you can see, now I am very successful in placing the plants I want. So now I'm going to go through and be a little bit more selective and try and create an actual exhibit. Now, as you can see, if you make the circle too small, it doesn't plant any trees. So you have to make sure it's big enough. And by adjusting the intensity bar, you can control how many plants you add at once. So now you can see I'm adding some lower plants over here, closer towards the viewing area, I guess you could call it. Just finishing up some nice touches to the exhibit. We're going to add the palm trees in a bit. Okay, so even making it a little bit smaller than I just did allows you to still place plants. Now let's add some palm trees in. Now I have to say I really do like the ability to be able to place different kinds of plants and not just have a general biome editor. It gives you a little bit more control in what you place, which is good. Okay, I think that sums up the exhibit. Let's give it a look-see and examine how it looks. Now you can see the wind is picking up a bit, and it looks to me like there's a storm going on. Even though there's no rain right now, you can see the wind blowing, and that weather feature is a very cool addition to this game. It's not something you see too often. In these kinds of games. Okay, back to the animals. You can see a little bit better view of the exhibit and the terraforming features. It looks very realistic. Okay, now I noticed that since there were no water adding features, we're going to have to actually add in a water bowl so these animals don't dehydrate to death, which would be awful. Even though they're not real, I still care about them. So we added that in to make sure nothing bad happens. And at this point in the game, I noticed that the grass actually overlays on the path. I'm not sure why that's happening. I don't know if it's a demo glitch or if I did something wrong, but if you zoom out enough, it goes away, but when you zoom in, there's a little bit of problems. So hopefully that's an issue that will be fixed soon. As you can see, I tried to delete vegetation in case it was something that I did, but to no avail. So I think we're just going to leave it and see if it's something that the developers fix. And as you can see, it's a nice sunny view. Moving a little bit too fast, so let's go back to a slower picture of things. Okay, I went the wrong way. Back to the first one. Great. Alright, and here's your first look at Prehistoric Kingdom. I think I'm going to leave it here for today, and in the next video I'll build another exhibit with the other demo animal. But I have to say to the developers, fantastic job guys. You've done a really outstanding job with this project so far, and I'm really excited to see where it takes off in the future. Okay, that's all for now. This is RCT3 Imagineer, signing off.